This morning, we welcome Jaron Myers, a stand-up comedian from Kansas City, Missouri. He has built an online fan base of over 1 million devoted followers, and his videos boast over 250 million views across the internet. Jaron's infectious joy and heartwarming personality make him feel like a lifelong friend that you share inside jokes with. Myers has 2 comedy specials on Amazon Prime, and his antics have been featured by BuzzFeed, Newsweek, College Humor, Relevant Magazine, and many more. Jaron tours all over the country performing at colleges, comedy clubs, and churches. Would you please welcome back to Bethel University, Jaron Myers.
All right, keep it going, all right? I got caught in the curtain. I'm sorry. I was back there and I was like, I don't know where I'm going. All right, well, that's a great start. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Happy Monday. Yeah, all right. Hey, how many of y'all were here last time I did this? Like a couple years ago? Great. How many of y'all, this is the first time we're hanging out? First time we're hanging out? Oh, okay, a lot of us. Cool. Well, my name is Jaron. It's good to hang out with you. We're going to laugh this morning. I know that this is the best time for a comedy show. That's perfect. I was talking to my manager, and she was like, where do you want to go next, Jaron? You want to do Los Angeles? Maybe New York? I said, no. I said, Mishawaka, Indiana. Yeah. And she's like, I guess we can do Notre Dame. I said, no. Let's go to Bethel University, baby. I want to hang out with the pilots, all right? With a mascot that causes nightmares, dude. Have you seen your mascot? With the gigantic eyebrows, dude. Oh, man, it's good to be here. We're going to laugh if that's okay. I know it's Monday morning. I know that some of y'all had a good weekend over. Do you guys go to the Notre Dame games? Is that what you guys do? Because you guys don't have a football? Well, you don't. You're a good homeschooled freshman. What's that? Well, don't stop talking now, dude. This ain't Netflix, man. I got eyes. I saw you say something to me. She's a senior? All right, you should look like it, you know? Like, you should. We're dumb, dude. I mean, we're here. We're joking around. I love making people laugh, dude. I especially love doing student events like this because, ladies, you laugh hard enough, you just start slapping whoever's next to you, man. You just... I love it, dude. Some of you don't make noise when you laugh. You just lose control of your upper half of your body, and you just... There's some noise coming over here that's right? Some of you will suck it back in. Oh. Sorry, I heard her laugh. That distracted me, too. She's over here signing and just, all right? That's good. And there's always some lady in the back who's like, stop it, I'm going to pee. Stop. I'm not trying to pick on the ladies, okay? I've just never done a show where a guy is like, I got to tinkle. You know, like, it's always the ladies, man. Oh, my gosh, dude. It is good to be here. Last time I was here, I had just gotten engaged. Yeah. All right. I'm glad you had faith. It did work out. It worked out. We got married. We just got married last year. Got married at 29, which, listen, I went to a Christian college. I'm aware that that's old. All right. I got married at 29. You know, Christians get married younger than that for one reason. And, oh, yeah, the tax benefits, guys. Come on, man. Like, so we just got married last year. We got married. We dated for 5 years before we got married, which also I feel your judgment. Shut up. You're 19. All right, chill out. All right. We dated for 5 years. We did long distance for some of that. And my mom really wanted us to get married. My mom kept asking, when are you guys getting married? And so we got married, and I thought for sure that would end the questions. But the second we got married is when my mom was like, babies, right? And so my mom wants to be a grandma so stinking bad, dude. And I don't know if you've seen how people are around children. Anybody got like young, like nieces, nephews? Anybody got like, okay, have you seen how people are around toddlers and the things they'll say to babies, right? You can't say that to adult people near you. I walked in the living room last week. My mom was talking to my nephew, and she's like, you're so cute, I want to eat you up. I want to cut you into little pieces. I want to squeeze you so hard you can't breathe. Coochie, coochie, coo, right? You can't, if I walked in here, if I was like, hey, good morning, Monday, happy Monday, you. I want to eat you up. I want to cut you into little pieces. I want to squeeze you so hard you can't breathe. Coochie, coochie, coo. All right? Like, this dude's calling the cops, man. That's so dumb, man. Oh, my gosh. I love my parents, though. I had good parents. Do y'all have good parents? I love asking college kids that because you guys are like in the middle of like figuring out your adulthood. And so right now, no matter how good your parents are, you're like, I freaking hate them, all right? It's a good time, man. I did go to a Christian college. That was a good time. I think my parents were just doing their best. I grew up super sheltered. I feel like at least half of you, that's true, right? No? All right. Yeah, you grew up. Did you grow up? Are you yelling at me right now? Or did you grow up homeschooled? Yeah, for sure, dude. I was homeschooled for like elementary and middle school, and then when it got to high school, my parents were like, "Good luck, dude," and they sent me to public school, and that's how I ended up in counseling. And so, like, that's not a good move, right? My parents were just doing their best. I grew up super sheltered. I grew up like we weren't allowed to do. I don't know how this is gonna play here. Are you guys cool with the word Halloween? I don't know. So I don't know. Sometimes I'll do church events and I'll say Halloween and people hiss from the first row. I don't know. Like some people act like that's like we didn't do Halloween where I was growing up. Did you guys get to do that as you were growing up? You guys did, dude? Your parents were heathens. What are you talking about? Dude, we didn't do Halloween. We got to do the Hallelujah He is Risen Harvest Festival, all right? Yeah, dude, and we have to go to church. We all wear a Bible-themed costume, right? We all show up in our dad's bathrobe and a big stick, and we're like, I'm Moses or whatever, right? And my mom never let me do the Bible-themed costume I wanted to do, which was Adam before the fall, right? Just naked, dude, We didn't do Halloween growing up, man. We didn't do Harry Potter. Were you guys allowed to do? You guys weren't allowed to do Harry Potter? No, of course not. You were? You were allowed? Oh, you read the books? You don't look like you can read, brother. That's so surprising to me, man. Good for you, buddy. You were allowed to read the book. My mom acted like that was like the devil in our home. Because all my friends were reading the books, right? And so I was like, I want to read the Harry Potter book. And she went, never say that in my home again. Not under this roof, no. It's witchcraft and it's potions. Jaron, it's potions. They're mixing things together. Not in this house. And now if I have a headache, that woman comes around the corner and she's like, well, all you need is 2 drops of peppermint and thieves. And no, that's a potion, Christy, okay? You can't just call a cauldron a diffuser and make it holy, all right? That's still sin, all right? I'm not in this house, all right? My parents were very traditional people. I got spanked growing up. Did you guys get spanked growing up? chill out. Some of y'all are like, yeah, and I turned out normal because of it. And you're like, dude, that's not normal, man. Chill, all right? It is. I'm great, all right? I wish your parents would hit you more. Good night, man. I got spanked growing up. Did you guys ever try to use the Bible to get out of punishments? Dude, like my dad would get all riled up. First of all, it was way easy to get my dad mad. We would play that game on road trips, dude. Me and my brother, we'd play first one to make dad mad loses, all right? And so you just try to do just enough where he's like slightly annoyed, but if you push him over the edge, you get destroyed. And so, but he would get so mad, and I would try to use the Bible, and I'd be like, Dad, Colossians 3:21, don't be harsh to your children. Colossians 3:21. And he'd go, I'm going to kill you. Charles Myers, 6:23 p.m. And you're like, I don't think that's in the Message version, I guess. Boy. I'm messing. Guys, I'm joking around. It's fine. We're messing around, guys. Some of y'all are so tight. Some of you guys are like, Monday morning chapel, we're here to praise the Lord. Like, chill, dude. It's okay. We're joking around. There's no one texting him. Come on. Like he would have a girl's number. We're joking around, dude. Get him! That's right. In this room. That's so funny, man. That's all right, man. Whatever. I'm giggling. I'm sorry. I'm giggling at my own stuff, dude. I think the stuff I don't say is way funnier than the stuff I'm allowed to. And so it's pretty good, man. My mom texted me last week. My mom texted me and told me that I need to go see my grandma. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go down there. And she goes, she just didn't have a lot of time left. Is anybody in that situation where your parents are like, hey, go hang out with your grandparents? They don't have a lot of time left. And I said, does Grandma know that's how you're getting us to go to her house? If I go over there and she goes, well, hey, Jaron, what brought you over? The clock, you know? Like, I'm just here to pick out my stuff, dude. All right? That's a good joke. Don't awe at that. Whatever, man. It's good. It's good to be here, man. A little bit more about me. I used to be real fat. I grew up like a really... And I did. I used to be almost 400 pounds. I've lost 130. And so... Stop it. You stop it. Oh, okay, thanks. For me? Dude, I used to be big, man. I knew I needed to lose weight. Like, you know, there's like a moment where you know you got to make a change. You know what I'm saying? I was 400 pounds. I knew I needed to make a change because one day when I was in the shower, I turned and my belly button suction cup to the wall. You know, like, just, right? Someone had to bring a credit card to break the seal. You know what I'm talking about? That's messed up, man. But I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up eating unhealthy food. We were an unhealthy family, man. We grew up eating a lot of, we went to fast food places all the time. We did a lot of Olive Garden. We did a lot of Cracker Barrel. You guys Cracker Barrel fans? All right. And I don't know if you guys have this here, but we were big Waffle House people. You guys mess with Waffle House? Yeah? Some people are pro Waffle House. Do you guys have them here? Shoot, dude, you got to move, right? I'm a huge fan of Waffle House. Where I was growing up, Waffle House is important. I grew up in Tornado Alley down at... The more I learn about you specifically, because you look like you were a child actor who, like, you know what I'm saying? You look like the bad kid in Little Rascals. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look like... And the more things you give, you go, tornadoes, yeah. It's like, dude, you were dropped by a tornado, or it sounds like, man. You got blown away, and then and they were like, oh, the tornado even was like, get this kid out of here. And so, that's ridiculous. Did you grow up in Tornado Alley? No, but I love them. All right, dude. That's my favorite, dude. I love it. Well, so you like to, listen, I grew up, we were chasing tornadoes all the time because we're stupid Midwest people. And so, yeah, dude, when the clouds turn gray, we're on our front porch. We're like, if it's my time, right? So here's the thing about Waffle House, is Waffle House, where I was growing up, was important because Waffle House doesn't close, right? Ever, period. I'll do more jokes. This is something I'm really passionate about, that Waffle House is open all the time, all right? And I don't mean like, oh, they're open on Christmas. They are, but I'm saying like they're open all the time. Waffle House managers at Waffle House don't have keys because they don't lock the doors because they don't close. Do you understand what I'm saying? Waffle House does not close. I grew up in Tornado Alley, F5 tornadoes swirling around. Waffle House still slinging hash browns. Do you understand? They're not messing around. Waffle House won't close unless their building is gone, unless they're physically unable to make food. Do you understand? And so this is so true that FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Administration, right, responsible for cleanup after disasters, you know what I'm talking about? They have what's called, this is real, you can Google this later, right? They have what's called the Waffle House Index, where, and this is real, I promise. I'll do more jokes. This one's not, okay? FEMA determines how bad damage is in an area after a storm by whether Waffle House is open or closed. Are you guys awake? Guys, the government looks to Waffle House for answers. Is that not insane to you guys? Right? Somewhere in a government building, there's an intern that busts through the door and says, code red, and everyone in that room goes, oh no, waffle down. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? And they say it's because Waffle House is more prepared for disasters than anybody else. I'll say that again, I guess. Waffle House is more prepared for disasters than anybody else. Sure. You're telling me that Waffle House is more prepared for an F5 tornado than they are for a standard health inspection? I think what it is the people that work at Waffle House, they look out the window and they see a hurricane and they're like, my life can't get worse. Let's... listen, you know what? Forget you guys. Do you understand? I've been doing that joke for like 10 years, okay? And only recently have people started to be like, oh, Jaron. No, we don't want to make fun of Waffle House employees. They're people too. Shut up, okay? Shut up. First of all, they're all felons. They can take a joke. All right? If you go to a Waffle House, the guy is back there leaning on the grill barehanded, all right? He can take a joke. Here's how I know they can take a joke, all right? I've been doing that joke for a long time. I told you, a couple of years ago, Waffle House corporate hired me to come to Atlanta and tell that joke at one of their conferences, okay? Do you understand that I went to a room full of Waffle House employees and I told that joke and they all laughed, all right? And then they slashed my tires in the parking lot. Like, it's okay, guys. Some people are so offended. You've never met a Waffle House employee. Don't joke like that, man. I love them. We're friends, man. Let me ask you all a question. This is a yes or no. You can verbally answer for this one. Have people gotten worse? Yeah, I like how a lot of you did the polite thing where you were like trying to wait and see what everyone else answered. You're like, But everyone out there has gotten pretty bad, right? Or at least people have given up like pretending to be nice, right? Like I saw, like a couple weeks ago, I was at the grocery store. This is how I know things have gotten pretty bad. I saw a fist fight in the dairy aisle, right? I did. I don't know what the dairy aisle, and I was at Target. I know. I was like, hey, that's Walmart behavior. First of all, don't do that at Target. All right? But it does, it just seems like people are grumpy and angry all the time now. And here's what I think happened to a lot of us, right? A lot of us are on social media. You guys have like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all this stuff. Here's the thing about those apps, is that those apps are an algorithm, right? And the algorithm has learned what makes you angry. Not what makes us angry. It learned what you as an individual get mad at. And then it gives you more of that. And so every time you open one of these apps, there was a time, and you guys might be too young to remember this, there was a time when social media was just pictures of puppies and like people taking pictures of their food, or you would use it to check up on an old ex and see how much better your life is now, right? That's what social media was made for, and now it's all these causes and all the stuff that's wrong with the world. And so every time you open TikTok, it's like, hey, are you having a good day? And you're like, yeah, having a pretty good day. And it's like, awesome. That's over, right? And then it just gives you one thing after another of all the stuff that's wrong with the world, and a bonus, it'll tell you whose fault it is, right? And here's the thing about our brains, is that our brains are constantly, I know that there's like this myth where if like you get to 25 and your brain's finally fully developed and then you just live the rest of your life, right? That's not how this stuff works. Your brain is constantly developing new neural pathways, and it's constantly taking in information and trying to figure out how to keep you safe and how to do as much stuff on autopilot as it can. Forget where you're going, and all of a sudden you pull into the Starbucks drive-thru. Does that ever happen? You know what I'm talking about? It's because you've taken that path enough times that when you were spaced out, your brain was like, I know where we're going, right? And then you pull, and you're like, well, I'm already here. And so you like pull in. And so what happens is your brain is constantly learning how to do things in the background so that you can focus on other stuff. Right now, I'm walking back and forth up here, right? Pretty easy for me to do, not to brag. But I'm saying there was a time in my life when I was like 1 year old, where I couldn't, I had to focus really hard on right foot, left foot, right? And then once I learned how to do that, your brain and your muscle memory remembers those things so that now I can do other things while I'm doing this. That's a good analogy. Does that make sense? I'm coming up with this on the spot, guys. We're going, all right? Chill. We're together on this. I'm just trying to make a point here. What I'm saying is the more stuff that you're taking in on social media and these conversations with your friends, your brain and your muscles are remembering the response of anger and anxiety. And then the next time that you have something that triggers that anxiety or that anger, you go from 0 to 100 way faster than you used to, right? You ever had a thought that you hear yourself think and it catches you off guard? You know what I'm talking about? Where you hear yourself think it and you go, who are you? You know, like who do you think you, like I was driving in traffic. I'm not a big road rage person, but I get cut off one day, right? And I'm like a big thumbs down kind of guy. You know, I'm not a flip them off. I'm not a scream in traffic kind of thing. I just really give them a piece of my mind, you know? I'm like, you know, which, by the way, really ticks them off way more than the middle finger, just so you know. Like, if you really want to send them through the roof, give them one of these. Go, oh, they will start swerving. Like, it's, but I'm not usually like a big road rage kind of guy, right? I get cut off from the traffic, and I squeeze the steering wheel, and I remember this moment where I was just like, I'm going to follow you home. And like I heard myself think it, and I was like, what are you, like I'm me, dude. I'm not like a threatening guy, all right? I don't think I am anyway. I did stop a robbery 2 weeks ago, all right? This is a side tangent, but I did stop a robbery, just so you know, right? I stopped someone, I was at Chick-fil-A, I look out the window, and someone is looking in the back of my rental car, and I was like, not today, and I ran out to the parking lot, and I was like, hey, can I help you? And he goes, can I help you? And I was like, yeah, this is my car. And he goes, this is my car. And he was right. Like, I was fully I'm just running up on some guy and his 2 kids in the back seat, right? And I got to double down and be like, hey, those are my kids, right? Like, it was so embarrassing. I'm not a threatening guy. I'm not like a guy, right? And so like for me to get that mad in traffic, I was like, why did I go 0 to 100? What am I even talking about, right? And what I think happened is that all the stuff that I've been taking in, all the stuff that we talk about, all the things that are wrong with the world all the time, and your brain remembers those things, and it learns that pattern, and then it just jumps straight to anger. way faster than it used to. And when I realized that happened, I realized the same way my brain and my body had been trained to travel the path of anger and anxiety. I have the ability, you have the ability to literally retrain and rewire your brain to, instead of looking for what's wrong or out of place first, you can train your brain to look for moments of hope, opportunities to serve people around you, movements of God happening. And do you know what happens when you train your brain to look for those things? It's going to sound crazy. You find more of them. And this isn't some kind of manifestation thing where it's like, if you manifest it, it'll come true. Me looking for God to move doesn't magically make God move, right? God is already moving. There's already an abundance of joy. There is already fun and hope and kindness around you, but your brain is so distracted looking at other stuff that you're starting to miss out on those things, right? And so I started trying to train my brain to look for fun. I wanted my brain and my body to be wired and trained to look for fun and to look for having a good time and look for those belly laugh moments, right? And so, like the Starbucks by my house, an example, the Starbucks by my house has 2 entrances to get inside. I put up 2 signs that said, please use other door. And then you just sit in the parking lot and wait, right? Because people aren't mad when they walk up and see the first sign, right? But when they walk around the whole building and see the second one, that's free joy, okay? Like, oh yeah, I thought I was going to watch a middle-aged white lady bust through the door of Starbucks. Nothing's getting between Catherine and her pumpkin spice, okay? That's free to you, man. Some of y'all are living a pretty grumpy life. Even as college students, I get it. I mean, listen, and I'm not trying to minimize your stress. I'm saying, like, a lot of us will get so inundated with our day-to-day routines and the stuff we got to get done and the tasks and all this stuff. And so some of y'all are looking forward to fall break, right? Some of you are looking forward to December. Then you'll let yourself have some fun and some joy. But right now is crunch and stress time, right? Some of you might be on the opposite side of the scale where you need to, like, maybe stress a little more, all right? Because some of you got here and you're like, Bethel University, baby. I'm a freshman. I'm going to find my wife tomorrow, all right? Dude, I know how Christian college goes. You meet your roommate and your spouse on the same day, man. Some of y'all, and there are definitely guys in this room who are just waiting for you ladies to go home and break up with that boyfriend on fall break, dude. Oh, just if you can just hold out till after fall break, the dating pool gets so much bigger, just so you know. They didn't like that joke. That's okay. They're like, we're going to make it. Okay. And so, that's dumb, dude. Oh, man. What I'm saying is a lot of y'all are living this stressed out life, and there's fun and there's joy available to you right now, right? When you leave here today, if you're having a bad day, I'm going to give you a secret. We've been doing this since I was in high school. Call someone on your phone. Call anybody. And as soon as they answer, say, hey, I'm busy. Can I call you back? Oh, they get so mad, dude, right? They're like, you called me, right? And you're like, I got to go, and hang up on them, dude. That's free to you, all right? Go to a fast food place. What do you guys got here in town? What's your guys' go-to fast food places? Culver's? What'd you say? McDonald's? Ooh. Chick-fil-A? Obviously, what's that? Cane's? Oh. We found the pastor's kid. Cane's. All right. Cane's is pretty good, dude. I like Cane's because their menu is just how many do you want. That's like you pull up. That's all they have is strips. They're like, we don't have anything else. It's just strips and bread. That's all you want. I like Cane's. I like Chick-fil-A because, like, you seen the videos of those Chick-fil-A employees chasing down cars that forgot their fries? You know, they're like fully sprinting down the street after them. That's wild. Did you guys see a video? There was a couple years ago. There was a video where a Chick-fil-A employee saved a lady from getting her car stolen. Did you guys see that? This is a real video where this guy jumps in this lady's car. Here comes a Chick-fil-A employee who hooks him over the shoulder onto the ground, right? Yeah, and so people send me that stuff, and they go, Jaron, what do you think about that? I said, I'll tell you what I think about that. I think that was the only kid working that day that wasn't homeschooled, okay? You know what I'm saying? I saw that hook, right? That's a public school takedown right there, all right? That kid has seen some stuff, man. The last time I went to Chick-fil-A, I pull up to the window. I get a spicy chicken sandwich and waffle fries, all right? Where I live, it is $8.73, all right? I pull up to the window. Have you ever gone to the window at a drive-thru? This is, again, a total side tangent, but that's okay. Like, you're going to the window at a drive-thru, and the person at the window is way too excited to see you, and they're like, it's your lucky day. Because the car in front of you decided to bless you and paid for your meal. Has that ever happened to anybody? Isn't that like a wonderful 3 seconds of joy? You get to really bask in that joy for 3 whole seconds. Because on the 4th second, they hit you with a follow-up question. And you find out where you're at with God, all right? Because they go, do you want to bless the person behind you? And I was feeling good that day. I was like, you know what? Of course I'll pay for them. Yeah. He goes, great. Their total was $43. Oh, I got to call Dave Ramsey, dude. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. I don't know if I'm allowed to, man. I paid for their food. You have to, all right? I paid for their food. You can't not pay for the food, especially if you guys have like a Bethel University sticker on your car. You can't just be like, nope, and like drive off. Dude, yeah, that's why I have a Grace College sticker on mine. That was pretty good, huh? I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry that half of my show is me laughing at my own jokes. He just wasn't that funny, all right? He's no Tim Hawkins. I promise you, I thought I was, so I don't care. We're having a good time, man. I'm going to get out of here in a second, just so you know. Thank you for letting me do a Monday morning comedy show. This is my dream. So, yeah. For real, this is my dream job. I really do love getting to do this, and I know that it's my favorite thing to make people laugh. Like I get to see your reactions, and we get to laugh together. And I really do think my own jokes are funny. Like I'm just here to have a good time, man. Because like a couple of years ago, I don't know if you guys had it here in Indiana, but where I lived, there was a pandemic, and did you guys do that here? Some places I go, they go Panera. You're like, no, that's not. I didn't get to do shows. There was like an 8-month span where I couldn't do shows, and I've been doing this for 10 years now, and it was a really tough 8 months. We were doing stuff outside. We did like outdoor events, you know. I'm sure a lot of y'all were in high school when COVID happened, right? I'm sure like prom got canceled, like graduation ceremonies got canceled, and that sucks. That's hard, man. And so a lot of my shows were canceled, and so I'll never take this for granted. Like I'll always do a Monday morning chapel service, because I love making people laugh, man. And so we were doing outdoor comedy shows. We did drive-in events. Did you guys go to any of those? Dude, I was on a horse trailer in a field, and people were pulling in their cars, and we had a microphone that went to the radio signal, right? And so I'm just doing comedy, and I can't hear if anybody's laughing, right? I'm just praying that people are laughing in their cars, right? And so, I'm just up there on a horse. And listen, it's one thing when you're doing a comedy show. I do comedy clubs and stuff, and sometimes I'll see someone in the back. You're all facing this way, but I'm facing you, and I see one person in the back just kind of stand up and walk out, right? And I'm like, all right, whatever, you know? It's quite another to be on a horse trailer and just hear, right? And I watch them back out, and they went the wrong way. The exit's this way, so they got to turn around, right? And I'm just up here trying to make people in their minivan laugh. Like, that sucks, dude. And so I'll never take this for granted. This is my favorite thing in the whole world. And I did a women's event not too long ago. But, sorry, let me get my thoughts together. We're almost out of time. I have a podcast. Anybody listen to podcasts in here? Anybody do that kind of stuff? I do have a podcast called Things I Learned Last Night. That my best friend, He and I have been doing this since 2017. I promise you that it's not just two white guys sitting down and being like, well, here's what we think about women. That's terrible. I'm saying, like, those are bad podcasts. Like, so my best friend teaches me something every week. So if you're into learning useless information, like we did an episode about the Great Emu War. Did you guys know about the Great Emu War? Some of y'all know about this. If you don't know, the Australian government, there was an infestation of emus. They deployed the military to try to take care of this infestation, and the emus outsmarted the military. So we just learn useless information like that. We did an episode about the 1904 Olympics where the person who won second place in the men's marathon took a full nap in the middle of the race and still got second. So it's a pretty wild. So we just learn useless stuff. It's called Things I Learned Last Night. It would mean a lot to me if you check that out, even if you don't like what I'm doing now. Like if you go check that out. I do have a couple specials on Amazon. One of those specials is called The Blind Date. The Blind Date is a project I did a couple years ago, back when I was single. I wasn't a very good single person, but it was a project I did a couple years ago where I asked a girl I had never met before to be my date to a comedy show, and then when she got there, I had a dinner table on stage where we then had our first date in front of a live audience. And so, I had a waiter who brought us food. I get up and ask the audience for advice. At one point, I go to the bathroom and just leave her on stage by herself. And so, it is painfully awkward. I'll be honest with y'all. It's awkward. It's funny. It's like, and this, look, she could have like left. You know, we could have been like, you want to sit down? And she could have been like, no, I want to get out of here. And that would have been fine. But she sat down. She stole the show. Like, she was incredible. And so it's called The Blind Date. It's on Amazon. You can go watch it. I don't want to give away too much because I really do want you to enjoy the show, but I will ruin the ending for you. Never met that girl before. We did that first date in front of a live audience, and then I married that girl last year. And so, esports guy. So if you go watch that would mean a lot, man. And so anyway, what I'm saying is, like, thanks for letting me hang out. Thanks for letting me be here. I do church events a lot. I like being around people who follow Jesus. I follow Jesus. Sure, don't do that. Don't do that. I hate that. Makes me feel weird. But it's when people are, yeah. You're the same one who claps so hard for your parents spanking you, aren't you? But yeah, I'm just messing. I did a women's event a couple weeks ago. It was a big, like, 3,000 women, and I was crushing, dude. Like, cause girls, like, especially like these ladies who are there with their best friends, they'll make themselves laugh, you know what I'm talking about? So I'll do a joke, and then they'll make themselves laugh with each other's laugh. And so I just had to do one joke and then stand there for like 15 minutes. And I was like, it was awesome. And so after the show, this lady comes up to me, and she's kind of like misty-eyed, you know, and she just goes, hey, I just had to come tell you that in the middle of your show, I looked over, and first of all, we were having a great time. My friends and I were laughing so much. And I look over, and there's one woman in the back row who just wasn't laughing at all. And I started watching her through your whole show. She didn't laugh one time. And I just started praying for her from across the room. And then I felt led that I needed to go over there and pray with her. And so I went over there, I prayed with her. And so I wanted to come tell you, one, thank you for your ministry of making us laugh and have a good time and giving us the opportunity to let go. But also, thank you for giving me the opportunity to go pray with that woman. And I was like, that's really sweet that you did that. Thank you so much for that. And then like 10 minutes later, my wife comes up to me, and she goes, some lady prayed for me in the back row. And I was like, look alive, babe. What are you doing? All right. I'm Jaron Myers. Thanks for letting me hang out with you. I hope it's a good week, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Jaron. Appreciate it, man. That was so fun. Appreciate that a lot. Hey, on Friday, Garrett Howell will be with us. You're not going to want to miss that either. So have a great week. Go laugh with somebody. You're dismissed.